but he has to pull out miracles every season and almost every week, Sean Dyche. But they're capable of doing that. And as I say, they could play 5 at the back on Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. And if you get 5 good defenders that are working hard and are well organised, hard to break down. So it's not a foregone conclusion, this one, even though without a shadow of a doubt, Spurs are favourites to win this one. But remember last season? It was tight, a 2-2 and a 2-1 in the league. So not a great deal in it, and don't be surprised if it's close.
Chris Cowley. Fan cams. Club news. Transfer news. Match previews. Legend interviews. Spurs winning. Press conferences. Covering everything Tottenham and England.
Hi there, it's good to be on the podcast. Hope you're all well, Chris particularly. Couple of things to say about the upcoming game. Looking forward to coming down for it. Live in Scotland, but I'll be down at the lane for thoughts on Ange and his time at Spurs so far. Well, to be fair, the excitement I saw some of the games last season was fantastic, particularly down at home. There was a game against Manchester United I was at, which was, if any Spurs fans were there, you know what it felt like. It was absolutely incredible. And there's been quite a few of them this season. And consider some of the problems previously, with not the most exciting football in the world. It's a vast improvement and much more enjoyable. It's not perfect yet under Ange. It's going to be difficult because it's an extreme version of football, as any Spurs fan will know, and any Celtic fan who watched him beforehand will know as well. But it's exciting, and certainly something that you kind of know and hope will improve and get better. But it's all about getting Ange's group together, Ange's type of players that he needs. This is one transfer window that he's had, really, maybe 1.5. He needs a few more players in. Interesting the ones that he's got in this season, seeing if they're going to work. But I don't know, I think most Spurs fans, in reality, when you look back last few years, okay, there's no winning Premier Leagues at the moment, but hey, it's been good fun to watch and it's exciting. So I think it's a good thing. And by the way, I just like Ange, like everybody else, because there's no BS. Spurs and Everton game coming up on Saturday. As I say, I'm going to be down for that, covering it for the BBC. I was at Stamford Bridge last week, so it's interesting to see some of the top teams and where they are at just now. Certainly Spurs and Chelsea didn't look quite... Spurs, Man City and Chelsea didn't look quite at their very, very best this early in the season. But I don't know, just looking at the way Spurs start, and particularly at home, this should be a game that you should win. I mean, even against Leicester, there's no doubt in that first half particularly, that game should have been out of sight. But, you know, play at home, you know, first game of the season, the excitement is going to be, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the buzz of that. But it's not going to be easy. The way that Everton play, I mean, they obviously a stinker, we'll go into that in a minute, but the way Everton play, you know, it's kind of hard to break down. Obviously they played with 10 men, Brighton hammered them 3-0, but there was a questionable penalty kick, down to 10 men, so it's kind of hard to gauge really. Look, Everton have struggled for a variety of reasons, usually mostly because they haven't got the finances to be able to deal with what other people can spend. But Sean Dyche gets a tune out of them, and I think it was 14 points, even after the points that were deducted last season, they managed to stay in the Premier League. That's astonishing, right? That's amazing. So well done them for managing to do that. But he has to pull out miracles every season and almost every week, Sean Dyche. But they're capable of doing that. And as I say, they could play 5 at the back on Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. And if you get 5 good defenders that are working hard and are well organised, hard to break down. So it's not a foregone conclusion, this one, even though without a shadow of a doubt, Spurs are favourites to win this one. But remember last season? It was tight, a 2-2 and a 2-1 in the league. So not a great deal in it, and don't be surprised if it's close. successful season for both clubs. Look, Everton, I was going to say survival in the Premier League, but survival period might be the thing. The finances are a shambles. The debt is unbelievable. There's been fear of relegation season on season now. You cannot keep on doing that every year. 1 year you get massive injuries and then you can't save it. So Everton, they have to stick by Sean Dyche. I think he's about the only coach who could keep them going because of the limitations of the quality in the squad. But the fact that, you know, if you let him go and somebody has to restart again mid-season, it could be a disaster for him. So staying in the league is Everton, and staying alive and getting a new buyer. That's success for Everton this season. Spurs, success? Great thought. I think Spurs fans should look for top four. I mean, it was close last season. If you look at it historically over the last 10 years or so, it's been around 4th, 5th, 6th, that sort of thing. But top four, we all know what that means. And you want to get there. And Postecoglou is capable of putting together a team. And there's good enough players. And you look at the likes of, you know, obviously Richarlison, well, particularly against Everton. He tends to score. Was it 3 he scored last season in the 2 games? So, you know, we know Sonny's a fantastic player. Interesting to see what's going to happen with the players that have been brought in. Certainly, Werner's a hard worker. You probably know about him already. Limitations as well, but he'll give you everything. Solanke's the most interesting one of them all. You know, the great season last season, but maybe not quite so much so the season before that. And Spurs is a big old club, and you know, you've got big shoes to fill there. So that's Dom. Good luck with that one. That's going to be a hard one, but good luck. I suppose on top of everything else, keep Maddison fit. That's what I would say. And if you do that, probably going to be alright. He's quality. Love him as a player. If you're asked to give a score prediction, I don't do predictions, I do guesses, because I don't know what's going to happen, and neither does anybody. But I wouldn't be surprised at a 2-1. Probably for Spurs. Everton might sneak a draw if they defend incredibly well, but they'll need to defend well and get lots of luck as well. I was going to say, obviously, former Everton player, you know, where my heart would lie, but as I'm working for the BBC on Saturday, I'm not allowed to say that. So may the best team win.